Come on, Humungousaur! Oh man! Get ready to throw down with Humungousaur!
Let me tell you something! Wrath is not Humungousaur!
Introducing Alien Force, part of Ben's new playlist of 10, Humungousaur burst onto the scene as a fan favorite for not just fans, but also for Ben himself, becoming Ben's new personal choice for muscle in situations that required it, similar to forearms in the classic series. With the introduction of Humungousaur, he brought along a bunch of good and bad things. Good being adding some versatility to Ben's arsenal in Alien Force, being an alien with a lot of size and one that could grow and add more size. But the bad being, like I said, very similar to forearms in regards to that Ben has a need to always want to transform into these aliens. Being used a grand total of 89 times throughout the franchise, not including the reboot, it's clear the showrunners and Ben really loved using Humungousaur whenever they could, and even sometimes whenever they forced it. And this left me scratching my head wondering why. It's probably the same as you all as well. When there's so many aliens at your disposal, what makes you look at this dinosaur and say, yes, let's use him 89 fucking times? I've expressed my dislike, my disdain, whatever word you want to use for Humungousaur a lot whenever I talk about Ben 10. And outside of a few good moments and his reboot design, which I actually do really like, he's easily one of my least favorite aliens in the franchise. Because to me, he kind of does a lot more harm than good overall for the franchise and the show in general. Now, in defense of Humungousaur, most of my problems with him actually come after Alien Force Seasons 1 and 2. As in those seasons, with Ben's slimmer playlist, it's hard to really say who else would he go to in certain situations. And the first two seasons of Alien Force are pretty damn good in the fact that they remember that Humungousaur can still grow, and he has that ability to. So a bunch of his action scenes are still engaging and fun to watch, for the moment at least, until you get to Alien Force Season 3 and beyond. The problems with Humungousaur don't really start to show up until Ben's playlist starts to get bigger. For example, in Ultimate Alien, when he gains access to his new Ultimatrix and a bunch of the aliens he comes across like the Andromeda 5, the ones he gets at the back end of the series, you start to really wonder, oh, Ben's getting stronger, he's getting more versatility, I can't wait to see him use these aliens. No, you're gonna have to wait long because he doesn't get to use them. In Ultimate Alien, Ben gets access to an alien called Armadillo, one of the Andromeda 5 aliens. And this alien has some size, similar to Humungousaur, shown to be capable in combat situations, just like Humungousaur, and even can do some extra things that Humungousaur can't with his drilling abilities. So you're like, oh man, Ben has this cool new alien who's on par with someone like Humungousaur, I can't wait to see him use him. No, he does it. Armadillo shows up 7 times after he's unlocked. And once Armadillo is unlocked, Humungousaur is used 22 times. How does that work? Giving Ben an alien like Armadillo, somebody he can use over Humungousaur in very similar situations where they both will be equipped for, to then throwing Armadillo to the back burner in a series where he's a newcomer, and then letting Humungousaur take more of those appearances, just doesn't make any sense to me. Especially when Armadillo is a lot more compelling and just cooler alien in my opinion. But trust me fellas and gals and days, it gets worse. Way worse from here. In Omniverse, another series where he obviously gets a new Omnitrix and another plethora of aliens, you would think that finally Humungousaur is done, the roster's bigger, how much are we going to see Humungousaur, we might be free. No, we aren't free. You could really argue that this is where the Humungousaur problem really starts to take off. In the first few seasons of Omniverse, we're introduced to Ben's alien species having natural predators, a bunch of which Ben actually ends up going against in the first few seasons. And one of those natural predators we see is one for Humungousaur. And you would think, hey Ben, this alien can turn into a bunch of natural predators that are very hard counters against a bunch of the aliens you'd like to turn into. And you would think that Ben would wisen up, stop asking for the same fucking aliens over and over again like Humungousaur. But no, he cries and pleads for the Omnitrix to give Humungousaur, and it is just a very frustrating thing to watch. Thankfully, due to Omniverse reintroducing the concept of mistransformations, you don't really see Humungousaur too much after these first few seasons of Omniverse. But he still is able to muster up a total of 13 appearances in Omniverse, making him the 7th most used alien, tied with Wrath in that series. And like I said, his grand total of 89 puts him as the most used alien in general in Ben 10. And I still have myself asking why. Besides the fact that he was probably a fan favorite around production time on another show airing, just because he was a big, strong dinosaur and kids love strong characters and dinosaurs, I don't really think all these appearances are justified. His design is boring in UAF and gets worse in Omniverse, putting him in tidy whities. He's nothing but a big, strong punch merchant, as the series after Alien Force forget that he grows in general. So he's just there to be big and punch stuff. And while he does get an ultimate form that, I mean, the design is pretty cool, the form in general doesn't really make too much sense. And they think the show themselves knew that Humungousaur is fucking boring, so let's have him shoot missiles out of his hands, you know, something that'll be really cool and that'll get people to like him again. But then I just have myself wondering, how the fuck does that make any sense? And considering Ultimate Forms as a whole are very mishandled and poorly used other than Echo Echo, it doesn't really do anything for me or probably the other people who don't like Humungousaur. With such a colorful and fleshed out cast of aliens in Ben 10, I really wish they could have found a way to give us more screen time for the aliens we don't see a lot, like the Frankenstrikes, like the Lodestars, like the Chameleons, like the Bullfrags, and like the Armadillos. But instead, we just gotta deal with the fact that we're just gonna have to watch Humungousaur get his ass beat 24/7. I know I've came off as a big Humungousaur hater in this video, but at the end of the day, it's cool if you like Humungousaur. It's just my opinion. He definitely has some cool moments and earned his spot in the Omnitrix. In no way am I saying that he should be removed or some shit. I'm just saying that we should have let other aliens shine, especially in Ultimate Alien. And especially when you see that fucking Ultimate Alien intro and they have like all the cast of aliens, like, oh, Ben has all these aliens and oh my god, he's so powerful, he's so strong. But we end up seeing Humungousaur for a majority of that series. But like I said, that's just been my opinion. And now let me hear yours. Do you think we got too much Humungousaur? Do you think we got enough Humungousaur? And God forbid, do you think we needed more Humungousaur? Let me know down below what you think. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on so you know when I upload. And until then, it's been Dan, the Boy Wonder, signing out. Peace.
Humungousaur!